Comics Cubed. On my far right, we've got Hogan the Grim. In the middle, we've got Fandrell. And right here is Volstagg, your reviewers 3.
He doesn't know.
That's your right.
I didn't even know what you're saying. He's colorblind.
It's a mirror review
It
here.
also affects your left.
By the way that they see it in the thing, isn't it like mirror reversed?
No.
I thought it was.
No.
Producer guys,
Nope.
can you do me a favor and do something in post to make that mirror reversed?
When you say my far right, it actually means my far right.
I really did think that because of the camera, it did like the mirror thing.
This is right.
All right, well it doesn't matter.
Okay.
He's still
Just one more
he's
number
still
of things you talk about with that you don't know
Hogan the
anything about.
Grim, and this is why he's grim. It's sad.
But I'm back.
Nobody missed you. Now, hey, let's talk about the Thor movie, because really, I mean, there's a lot of crap going on. We got to cover some stuff, so let's hit it, get into it, and then get going. Did you go see it last night without us?
I did.
We were busy down at Castleton watching the Thor marathon.
I know.
We saw Thor 1, Avengers, and Thor 2, all in 3D.
I know.
Thor 1 in 3D,
Jealous.
completely pointless.
They left me out.
No, we invited you. We invited the producer dude. We didn't invite the new scab camera dude, but we invited everybody.
He's not really new.
All right, well, I haven't seen him do this before, so
Marathon.
PG-13 was it?
Sure, all of them were.
Okay. What'd you think? What is Fandrell's point of view on Fandrell? New Fandrell.
I thought it was pretty awesome. I liked it.
She liked it.
It-
She liked it.
It's so weird.
What did you like about it?
Well, I liked that it appealed to a wide audience. I liked that.
I liked it, so yes, you're right about that part.
You mean fat people?
Yeah, people that.
Volstagg's fans, and there are many.
So anyway, I liked that. There's definitely going to be a low-key movie.
You think so? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if it's possible to do a villain movie, it would be him. But I don't know if they would do a whole movie with him.
I think
I
if
thought it totally was pointing to that.
if they could do it quick enough, Loki Christmas special this year would be perfect.
He's kind of elf-esque.
He is. He's very much got that.
He's definitely the best villain in the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, no question. He steals every scene he's in. That's part of the movie as far as I'm concerned.
Especially the second one.
Right, and I like the movies, so I'm not saying that in a bad way, but he just chews it up. He's really
He
good.
does. I thought this was a vast improvement over Thor 1. Out of all the Marvel movies, Thor is my least favorite. I think it just doesn't have movement to it. I don't feel much about it. It doesn't do anything. This man, they 180. They're all over the place. There's a ton of action, almost too much humor, as you pointed out yesterday. I'll let you go into that later, but just really visually it looked cool. Acting was great. There was plenty of stuff to be seen.
And the emotional aspect. I mean, was a Stone Cold Steve Austin. It wasn't just a.
Glass breaks. You know, Thor does a stunner on somebody.
I think it wasn't straight action. It was.
Yeah.
They had like the romantic
Right.
stuff.
Well,
with,
and the whole thing was based on that.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. I liked it better than the second one, or the first one rather, and I liked the first one quite a bit. My problems with Thor,
Yes.
though,
Let's hit the problem.
as you mentioned, I thought there was a little too much humor.
They definitely threw in almost a laugh track.
Right, and I don't know if it's because the women behind us were kind of cackling a little bit,
They were.
or they were oohing-ahhing over Chris
Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth. Mandatory. I take my shirt off and show my abs shot.
Yeah.
You know?
All this.
It's okay, you don't have to be jealous.
All this
completely
No,
jealous.
we're gonna go into this a little bit. There's all this crap on Facebook that we keep seeing from female fans and feminists or whatever, griping about the fact, why is Black Widow always backwards in the ad? Why is we showing her ass? And all these other guys are bulked up. And why is the females always put into positions where they're blah blah blah? I'm Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, it doesn't really matter what my name was because it's 6 is what my name is right there.
I enjoyed
And the chicks in back of us were completely like that.
I enjoyed the voices you were just doing a
like
second ago.
I can't wait to see this episode.
It's ridiculous. I'm like, you know what? Yes, the women in these movies are not real because, well, one, it's a movie and they're not real.
Right.
And they are sexified because, well, that's what it is. But Chris Hemsworth is nothing but meat candy for women. That's all he is.
He's a decent actor, but he definitely, I mean, you know, you can try, which page of the script do I take my shirt off? Oh, number page 7, I take my shirt off.
He only took his shirt off once, and it was only for like a second.
No. If you would hear the ladies behind us,
Oh, yeah.
it was like a 5-minute scene. Oh yeah. There was a whole lot.
They had like brought their own personal slow-mo device, I think, and were living out a little Chris Hemsworth dream. You know, let me tell you how many times Jane Foster took off her shirt
0
in the movie.
0.
None.
Yeah.
Sif getting into a bubble bath.
Didn't see it.
None. Sif hanging out in the rain.
Sif and Jane Foster? You didn't
Never.
see it.
But it's a parody I'll watch eventually.
Okay, back to the movie. A little too much humor, but there was not so much that I disliked it. When something happens in a movie that takes me out of the story and makes me think about the movie director, of his cinematography, and all that stuff, I don't like it so much. And that happened to me. I'm like, man, that's another joke. We just had a laugh about a minute and a half ago.
There's a lot of jokes, but the one joke that really is that there's there's 2 or 3 scenes with the doctor regarding clothing.
Right.
And that's just all. It was almost slapstick comedy at that point. A lot of the jokes have good little points and actually kind of move the story. Where
Right.
Darcy
Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, it was taken to a point of kind of absurdity.
Also, I didn't like this Thor. I didn't like him being so stoic. So he's accepted responsibility. He's the son that Odin wants him to be, and he's almost like a younger Odin at this point. And he doesn't have a lot of emotion. Not a lot of the bravado and everything that we saw in the first movie and in some of the Avengers too, where you saw a wide range of emotions. You still get that from Loki, thank goodness. You get everything from Loki and from the actor. But from Thor's character, and Hemsworth did what they told him to do. But from that character in this particular movie, I just felt he was very, very static.
Monotone.
Yeah, didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I liked the movie overall. It was a great
Yeah,
movie.
I mean, he was playing the role that was given.
Yes,
Thor
absolutely.
is supposed to have, because you gotta think it's kind of Thor 3. That's how they're treating the Avengers.
Right.
It was like a half a movie for every character.
Right.
So it's kind of Thor 3. So over the first 2 movies, we've had Thor growing up, accepting, as you said, the responsibility. He's ready for the throne.
Right.
Plus, on top of it, I mean, Odin's a little older now.
He looked much older.
There's a chance that actor,
Right.
isn't going to be calling Clarice anymore or telling Thor what to do. So I don't know. If he were to pass away, I have a feeling that they would, story-wise, do one more script to deal with that.
Is he
and
even
then,
in the story anymore?
Oh, Odin's always around.
Well,
Odin's.
Very Loki on the throne. I think
Yeah.
that's what
Oh.
she said.
So
that would
may have
be
been
a way
written
to-
out.
Well, I personally
Did you
saw.
watch it?
Yeah, but I personally saw that not as Odin being gone by any stretch. That was somebody getting rid of Thor out of Asgard now. Like, you're right, you should move on. And so if he's not around Asgard, he won't be in the way to cause problems.
And,
for his
and speaking of
brother.
Asgard, I was thinking about halfway through, and maybe a little more through this movie, I'm thinking this is an Asgard movie, not a Thor movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I liked that.
That
It
was
wasn't.
good stuff.
It was. He's the main character still and all. but-
Coruscant looked really good this time.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
It was. You saw a lot more from other characters, and you saw a lot more of like the different guards, and with Thor's mom, and it was a lot more about.
Gina Russo,
Yeah,
Gina
what-
Russo does a great job, and she's like a really strong part of the movie.
good.
Has a good
Oh, yeah.
scene, and
Her fight scene was pretty cool.
Yeah.
she pushes it hard.
Yeah.
It looks good. She acts good. I love, and we made fun of the Warriors 3, and we have the new Fandral, who's the guy from Chuck. So those guys, I'm ready for. A lot of the times, I guess on the videos, they're doing like a 13-minute little mini movies before, like Iron Man had, I think, was it Sharon Carter on
Yes.
Iron Man? And so they've all had a little something. I'm ready for the Warriors 3 15-minute mini movie with them going out to, find Odin's grail of happy mead or something, and I'd be up for that. So happy mead.
Happy meat?
Mead.
No, the happy mead was
Mead,
Chris
April.
Hemsworth.
Goodness gracious.
Sweet.
It's Shawn. He wants happy
One track
meat.
mind. I would like to have seen some more character development with the Warriors.
Oh,
3.
absolutely. And I've been posting on Facebook trying to figure out.
Why-
I still haven't figured out why Hogan's not in
Hogan
it.
disappears basically in the beginning of the movie. He's
Yeah.
in it he has a line.
And he has
but-
1 second where he looks up at the sky
Yeah.
later on, which has obviously been filmed at the same time. I IMDb'd the gentleman who plays Hogan. His credits put every single person in the movie to shame except for Odin himself.
Oh, really?
I mean, they stack like a Samuel Jackson resume. I mean, obviously it's mostly Asian films,
Right.
but in his IMDb, it's like he's the Johnny Depp of Asia with mixed with this and that, and it just goes on forever. He's in 47 Ronin coming out.
Oh, that'd be good.
So I don't know whether he had other commitments. That's why the original Fandrel dropped out. I did look that up. He's the star of Once Upon a Time, and just like, hey, which is also a Disney film, so I've got a feeling there's no bad blood there. It's just a matter of we need you this, and quite frankly, the guy from Chuck's got a little bit of a cult following, so
Sure.
works out for everybody.
Okay, so Natalie Portman being in it.
Yeah, she has gone so far from Queen Yama Dala, whatever.
You're not saying that right.
And it's on
Wasn't she
purpose.
in that Walmart movie?
There's a Walmart movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's like a pregnant little.
and she lives in Walmart.
Yeah,
Okay.
pregnant single mom. living in
Other
Walmart.
than the obvious one. But anyway, I have my phone set on like it goes pew pew whenever I get texts or notifications or anything. It's like I'm falling asleep having like these weird. I watched Thor, but I'm thinking about Star Wars.
Well, there's a reason why.
Weird
Because
movie.
this was the best Star Trek movie that we've seen yet as well. Absolutely. Yeah, the ships that the Dark Elves are flying around in
Yeah,
look
they're awesome.
almost exactly out of the first Star Trek reboot. The masks that they have the Dark Elves wearing look like a cross between Stormtroopers and something you see out of
Yeah,
Star
we
Trek.
didn't even
The
give
bad
a
guy.
synopsis
Oh
of
yeah.
the movie.
Yeah, I don't think it's the
Yeah.
point. Everybody's gonna see it. But Malekith looks like a Star Trek villain. There's a lot of elements of Star Trek in this film.
That was one problem I had with it is the actor they have for that, Christopher Eccleston, who the 7 or 8 of you who watch Doctor Who know that he was a doctor. They give him nothing to do. He has no. They could have put you in there
True.
from here up. And
Well, it was just
they
a
would've-
makeup. I mean, he was a physical character.
Right.
Like,
Well, because they did the subtitles with the foreign elf language the entire time. You really can't get you can't get voice inflection. You can't get emotion out of that. So I didn't enjoy that character at all. He was a kind of throwaway character to me.
I think the character was good. He was an admirable foe. But I agree that we could have put Ray Park in that with stilts and he would have been fine. It didn't matter who
and I
played him.
thought it was really cool the way they set up telling about the Dark Elves in the like really cool storybook.
I would have liked. I did like that at the beginning, and then when Odin retold the story 10 minutes later, I didn't like it because he just retold the exact same thing we just watched at the very beginning of the movie. So I would have done with one or the other, but not
Maybe they
both.
assumed a lot of people have ADHD.
Maybe.
That's
Speaking of
not my
which,
problem.
we're not gonna talk about it, but there's a scene after the credits, and then
There's
there's
two.
another scene after the credits. So stay all the way through till the lights come up, because it's.
I don't know at the very last scene, the
It's-
big like 4 or 5 second scene that they always do now, as the thing was really that interesting. It was kind of it was good for
The
her.
very
I suppose.
yeah, that's what I was.
But it was
gonna say.
really
it
nothing
was
for
definitely
me.
for
Well,
closure.
But the
On
the
the
first,
emotional side.
the mid ending,
Yeah. That
oh.
was pretty cool.
So and everybody is saying that is the Guardians. That's the big lead into
Oh, yeah.
the Guardians movie.
So
So
he's one of the bad guys.
yeah, so I'm stoked. That's gonna be awesome.
Okay, what's next? What else?
Well, big
Well-
news out of the Disney Netflix front is the agreement to do 4 brand new Netflix original Marvel television series with Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Power Man, and Iron Fist. So
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't forget any of them.
Well,
That was all
Power
of
Man
them.
and Iron Fist are the same guy. Or Power Man and Luke Cage are the same guy anymore.
He didn't say Luke Cage.
So,
No.
Power Man and Iron Fist.
Luke Cage. They said Luke Cage, they didn't say Power Man. Power Man is a different person in the comics right now, is that correct?
No,
Yeah, Power Man is like the skinny little
Somebody else
dude.
is saying yes.
Thank you.
whatever.
You need to read the comics that are on your shelf. You need to know your
I
products.
do those, but I got a feeling when Luke Cage's copyright lawyer shows up and tells this kid to knock it off, it's gonna go down.
They're on the
this
same
way.
team. They're on the Mighty
So,
Avengers.
it's
All right.
yeah.
Look it up and
So-
apologize on Facebook later.
It's never
Yeah, so
gonna
you're gonna
happen.
see
Yeah.
4 miniseries, 13 episodes. I'm just gonna assume they're gonna release them all at once, like they've done with other things, and then a Defenders to wrap it up to include all 4. You got to think that you'll see a Kingpin in there somewhere. These are very street level characters, which would be cheap to produce, cheaper than a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean you have to do the CG with a lot of it. I mean, but it's cheap. I don't know you're gonna get much cheaper with. I mean, you're still gonna have a ton of special stuff.
No, I agree.
going
I'm
on
just saying
all
it's not
these.
going to be like a cat movie
And-
where
yeah.
everything has to be so huge because they're not that big of a character. They're detectives. or-
Daredevil can beat up on drug dealers and pimps and stuff like that. It'll go over well. I think you have to have a little bit more for today's audience to really keep them enthralled. If it just turns into, police procedural with vigilante justice, I don't think people are going to go for that. But I think Netflix has got their finger on the pulse. I think we've seen what's going on with the Marvel movies as they're currently going. I think they're going to do. I think sounds to me like box office gold kind of for small screen Netflix. Great deal. I mean, I don't know how much money was involved in it, but it's going to introduce people to some of those characters. Nobody knows who Jessica
Drake.
No,
No, I still
Jones,
don't know
Jessica
who she is
Jones.
currently.
Jessica Jones.
Nobody knows who Jessica Jones is unless you're a hardcore fan who's followed their material, and even some hardcore fans aren't going to know who that character is. The other three, very well known, even through their changes, like Iron Fist has gone through 2 or 3 incarnations. But we're also now mixing with our first kind of relaunch, revamp situation as well. I mean, we did have a Daredevil movie. We set some stuff, and I would almost guarantee we're wiping that out. We're not going to, take that into any continuity. Michael Clark Duncan's passed away, so we're not going to have him back as a Kingpin. So it does make me wonder, what we're going to have and what we're going to look at, what tweaks we're going to do. They did mention Hell's Kitchen in particular as being the stomping ground of this particular crew. So I think that's, quite frankly, there's a Star Wars announcement and there was that announcement. I think the much bigger announcement for me, and I think just in general, is the announcement of these shows as opposed to we've got a date for a movie.
Yeah.
Which, hey, we got a date for a movie.
Sure.
That was gonna be my thing.
Go ahead, go.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
April's got a thing.
I only have like 2 things.
Go. Thing 1.
Thing one. Oh, maybe only one. I don't know. So, it was announced that there will be a new Star Wars movie, number 7. December, was it, like, they actually set a date.
I think
18. You have a thing, you need to know
Yeah.
what the thing is.
I was just trying to involve you in this, so just.
Oh,
Thank you.
I was
Thank
throwing you a bone.
Thank you. I'll be over here.
You can chew on this for a little while. Hey,
So-
what date was that, April?
December 18th, 2015.
December 18th. I have $1 that says that doesn't happen. I have $1 that says it's going to get pushed
I'll
back.
be on your side, so there's
So,
no bet.
Yeah. See, I mean, it's Disney, so I assume they've got the stroke that they can get a movie done that quickly. It's Abrams. He obviously must have agreed to this date before they announced it. I think you're going to see it delayed. That, and it's also, historically, every single Star Wars movie ever has been released in May. This is the first one to break the tradition of releasing a Star Wars movie in
They've
May.
never been owned by Disney
But
before.
it's all first. It's
Are
a
they gonna,
lot of
like,
breaking
have
ground.
Selena Gomez and I'm a little scared.
No.
You know what? We hear people say ignorant things like that. And here's the thing. When they bought Marvel, do you know what changed?
What?
Nothing. Because they're not buying these franchises or these characters or anything else to put Mickey Mouse in them.
Put ears on.
They don't care. Now, don't get me wrong. In the Disney store, we're going to see Darth Vader with those ears. We probably already have.
We did.
But in the movies,
Right.
they don't care. They are buying something to make money with.
Right.
And Disney-fying it, putting Selena Gomez into a Star Wars movie, bad idea. They know it. Somebody's like, knock that off.
Yeah.
Is she? Isn't she 12?
Oh, no, she's like legal, I think.
I'm just saying a woman said that. It wasn't one of the 2 male hosts that said Selena Gomez is legal. That didn't come out of our mouths. So, but yeah, I think when they bought Marvel, they changed nothing at all. Nothing happened. They just basically bought thousands of characters to make more movies and merchandise and stuff that makes real money. The truth is comics in the long run don't make money. For a company as big as Disney, the sale of even Amazing X-Men #1, which is a huge book this week,
Well, comparatively speaking.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's why bother?
Well, they saw what they could do with the franchise, like Pirates.
Yep.
And think, we made money on this for like 9 years now. What if we
Right,
had other
right,
characters? And nobody wants to see
everything
Pirates 7, so what if we had other characters we could do that with? And it was a pretty easy.
Pirates 5, where the hell is that?
I don't care.
It's supposedly, it's on the books. It's supposed to be, but you're right. I think Pirates 4, I think maybe that ship has sailed. So we got Star Wars, big news. That was kind of cool, but we'll see. It always was a date, but for Star Wars fans, every little piece of information is an exciting
It's a morsel
thing.
that you want.
Yeah, and that's cool. I'm a Star Wars. I love the first 3. I can't stand what do they call them? The prequels, but now they're the first 3. I like Luke and Leia and Han.
That's like what annoys me the most is when people say, no, well, actually, these are the first one.
Whatever they
She did a
are.
voice too.
The,
Everybody's doing voices
the
today.
shows that
That's
came
the
out in the
annoying
70s and the 80s,
That's
those
my
are
brother-in-law's
watchable.
annoying.
The stuff that
Like-
came out in the 90s and 2000
Right.
is unwatchable. And then I've got the Clone Wars, which is my all-time favorite.
I don't think they're watchable.
So-
I enjoyed them.
Alright. Yeah, I can't watch the first one, actually.
Okay.
I actually took my disc, put it at a yard sale for $1 and got rid of it. Tried to get through it. And that first scene where they're in there and they're like, those are not the ambassadors, those are Jedi. And, I'm like, oh my God, it's great, it's cool, blah, blah, blah. And then Jar Jar shows up. Just take the disc out and launch it. It's gotta go.
I agree with Jar Jar.
Misa think of this sucks.
Yeah, I agree with that part.
It's very good.
So,
If you ever watch them all back to back.
Mhm.
You have to take a Spaceballs break in the middle.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
That's
Love
great.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. All right.
That's ludicrous.
Hey, what else we got? What's
What's
up?
like
Well, I'll tell you what. Probably the biggest moneymaker of the entire year for Geek is going to happen this Friday. Maybe
Friday.
opposed by maybe a week from then it'll have a beat. But PS4 is hitting the streets on next Friday, and it's going to make whatever
So
Thor
many
makes,
kids'
whatever anything
Christmas
makes, doesn't
is
matter.
awesome.
This makes so much money that the video game industry is currently looking at the movie industry and just mocking it. So I'm not sure, but I was looking at the launch titles. Gotta say, I'm a little unimpressed with the PS4, the games that are actually going to come out the same day as the machine does, the hardware. It's really not that impressive a lineup. A lot of the bigger games are actually PS3 or Xbox current generation games that are ported over. They've got a few new titles. None of them, I think, are necessarily tentpole mega event titles. There's no Naughty Dog in there at all, which
What are
kinda
the
surprises me.
okay? So if I've got a PS3, what you don't? What are the reasons I need to get a PS4? Is there any real reason I need to get a PS4?
Let's see, what is coming with it? You're gonna have a brand new controller, which is going to immediately allow you social media access through the controller. So like you can tweet or Facebook, I believe, like stuff about your game as you're actually playing it.
Right.
So that's gonna be an upgrade power-wise. The actual CPU, it's an 8-core Jaguar-filled badass machine coming at you. So power-wise, it's going to be able to perform a lot better. No backwards compatibility, so that's a bit of a turnoff internally, but there will be backwards compatibility
That's
through cloud access. However, I don't know, like if I own all the Uncharted games, which is the whole reason to own a PS3 and the Blu-ray player, but the disc will not play in this new machine. I will be able to play them through a cloud-based system. My question is, and it might have been answered, I haven't done that much research on it. I own those games. Am I going to be able to put them in my PS3, do something that launches it into the cloud, and then allows me to play it via indirect on my PS4?
Right.
And that I don't know. Now, if I only have to pay $1
And is
for a
it
game
free?
I already
That's-
own,
yeah,
that'd be cool. But if I'm gonna have to pay $20, $30, or $40 for a game I already own on
Right,
another
right.
system, then really what they've done is instead of me going out and trading in my PS3, I will now hold on to my PS3 a little bit longer and keep it up. Plus, the other thing to keep in mind is, regardless of what you want to do, I don't know that I'd be an early adopter. I am this time because I want to be the first kid on my block to actually have the toy for once.
I've seen your block. You are the first one
Yeah.
to have a
So
toy.
I want that particular toy. But there are still really good games, probably 2 years out for PS3 in the pipeline. Those games are still going to come out. Now, maybe they come out for both platforms. It's hard to say. I will say that the bigger thing between it is right now is PS4 and Xbox because they're launching like 1 week later. $100 difference. PS4 is going to be like $399. Xbox is going to be like $499. Xbox did a bunch of changes to keep up with what PS had already done.
Right.
So really, and it comes down to it's that old fanboy fight, Xbox versus PS, which one's better? And really, the PS guys are always going to say the PlayStation, regardless of the facts, and the Xbox people are going to say they're a fan of the Xbox, regardless of the fact that their machine isn't as good as the PS4. But even though that's a fact, that's
And
a fact.
Nintendo's not
They're-
even in the game.
Nintendo is
They're
not in the
just
game.
like-
Well, the Wii U came out, the Wii Universe came out like last year.
Right.
And the truth
Yeah,
is
but
it
still,
has a superior platform built in the hardware for the controller. Their controller is like a tablet that allows you to like go and do stuff with their controller that none of these others are going to be able to do.
They just don't invest in the mature games. Is that correct?
They
doesn't.
that is the reputation. That's kind of like saying
Well, and
Disney
they
only
tend to
makes
not have
cartoons
as much
though.
Right.
Like computer-based.
I want to say that the power-wise, yeah, if we were to break open one of those bad boys and see what's actually running that machine.
But is there
it's
like
nowhere
Call of Duty
near.
for Wii?
I don't think, is there? Yes, I'm being told by the
there?
computer scab guy over there that there
Okay.
is. So they do have those games. It's just, it's got that reputation as being a kiddie system.
Right.
And regardless of whatever, that silly ass controller they did the last one out, Wii U, with the, I don't know, the little hand remote, one-handed weird controller.
Do a voice, maybe it'll come to you.
It's like I'm a lightsaber. I got a little lightsaber controller thing, and you're gonna be able to make it go pew pew. And it was just
Oh,
dumb.
that's the voice from the guy in the little popcorn box from the movies.
Okay.
Let's
We didn't
go
see
to
that
the
last night.
movies.
That's the voice my popcorn makes. So all right, so I think that's
Popcorn.
gonna. I didn't say No.
What else? What
No,
else?
if my
Keep
wife
going,
was watching,
keep
it didn't
moving.
happen.
Keep moving.
No, those, I think that's probably, I mean, you
Biggest
know,
things going on right now.
I think so. You've got, in television, Arrow's been picking up, Walking
Oh.
Dead's been picking up.
What's your number 2 thing?
Yeah, you're supposed to have 2 things.
Yeah, I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, this week.
What was it about? Because I think I watched it. I think I'm behind. I think it's on my DVR. What do you got?
Oh, there's like a alien virus that affected some of the.
What?
I think they
It's
find
interesting.
they
I
find a
enjoyed
helmet of
watching
some
it.
kind, like
Yeah.
a Chitauri helmet or something, and it infects one of the members. And this
Well,
was
no,
the
a
first.
guy from a fire department.
That's right.
They had to track him down.
Gets a fireman first.
Causes all kinds of electric.
Oh, stuff's floating around,
Yes.
and he's
Yeah.
got like magneto powers or
It
something.
makes you blow up.
Huh.
In your brain.
Yeah.
Like,
In your brain.
So anyway, second half of the show, one of the members gets it. One of the either Fitz or Simmons, I don't know which.
Okay.
And so that was the big emotional draw. Was this is the first time where one of the core members is really in real danger, and you think as a viewer, this person might die, and this might be her last episode.
you think she is dying?
Yeah.
I mean, she falls out of a plane.
It's only like episode 5. There's no way they're off into character that soon.
So
Well, and there's
it was
the.
just okay. It was better. It is getting better, but it's not getting better soon enough, and it's not getting better.
It's a really good thing that they
It's
gave
still
it
awesome
a
quality,
full
though.
season draw early on, because this is a show that all 3 of us every week should be gushing about.
Right.
We should be fanboying out about this show every single week. And the truth is if you hadn't brought it up, I wouldn't have cared.
Oh, sorry.
It's just lackluster. There's nothing about it that grabs me and brings me in. There's not a single character on it besides Phil Coulson that I find to be interesting.
If this show was on as it is 10 years ago, it'd be the greatest show on TV. There are so many great shows on right now that they could blow it out of the water.
Was there a special end of this episode? That's one thing they've been kind of doing lately. Is there was the Samuel Jackson appearance, and then the week before that there was.
It was Titus Welliver, who's another Shield agent in one of the shorts, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's been lots of little
Well,
things
and
happening.
they kept like mentioning, like they mentioned Captain America and they mentioned Iron Man, and then it was kind of interesting to watch Thor, because it was kind of like they kind of knew, and also nobody mentioned that Captain America made an appearance in Thor.
Well, you didn't have to ruin it for
Yeah.
everybody, but yeah.
Oh.
Well, I didn't say.
Spoiler! You're right. We did next
It's a
week.
reason to watch.
Next week we might have.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she already spoiled it. We've already talked.
It's okay.
Probably one of the best scenes in the entire movie,
Well,
acting
you don't have
wise,
to further spoil.
because
Tom Hiddleston.
I was just
No,
giving
Chris
a
Evans.
little.
Chris
like,
Evans
Chris Evans.
to-
comes on portraying a character, portraying another character, doing imitation.
You had Chris Evans doing an imitation of Tom Hiddleston doing an imitation of Captain America.
And it was amazing.
It was. He was great.
He like, so you need somebody to act today, huh? I'm an actor.
He was
But you want me to act like an idiot?
Yeah.
I can do that too. Oh man, that's such a good scene.
It was well done.
Yeah.
Way to ruin it, April.
Yeah.
I'm really good
Surprise!
at it. Whatever.
Yeah, it was awesome. We talked about that actually quite a bit. That was one of our favorite scenes. We giggled like schoolboys.
Aw.
That didn't animate.
Oh, did we?
He might have. We did not.
Chicks and Back was definitely
They
good.
did.
Ooh, crazy.
Was it theater?
Oh, Chris
packed,
Evans.
or-
Hey,
50
you know what?
people, 50 people.
Amazing X-Men number
Yeah,
1
like
stars
3 minutes,
Nightcrawler, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Ghost Cop from Antarctic Press wasn't any good,
We must be
and
running out of
5
time.
Ghosts from Image was really cool, and I liked it. Thanks for checking out
Oh, wait,
GeekStorm.
hang on.
Oh, shit.
We're in Pepper Whistle, and they just won an award from the city.
Who did?
Pioneer
Who did?
something.
Pepper Whistle
Pepper
did?
Whistle.
What's the award?
Did you guys know
Pioneer
that?
something. You don't.
Hey, what award did you guys win?
Pioneer Award.
It was the
See,
Pioneer Award!
What the
Yay!
heck?
You said the Pioneer
Let
something.
me
That's not.
let me tell you how many awards Comics Cubed has won.
How many?
Well, let's go on to the next subject. We'll talk about it next week when we bring GeekStorm to talk about PS4, probably.
Probably. I don't
No, because it'll just be out at midnight that Friday, so we won't be able to talk about it
We'll
yet.
talk about something awesome, something that we make up.
Yeah.
All right.
Like we always do.
Yay! Shawn Hilton, Comics Cube.
April Thatcher?
Mike Harrison on the far right.
Because there's not a better thing. Goodbye.
Whatever.